I'm here. Woo, yeah. I'm here. Woo, yeah. I'm here. Ooh, yeah. Oh my God, where's my hat? Oh, there's my hat. See my hat? See my teeth? Yeah, see my hat? Oh, heck with the hat. Oh, look, we have a Burger King hat. See? Burger King. Burger King. See? Burger King. Okay. Okay, let me see. Oh, look at this one. Yeah, see, it's my birthday. Woo, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, where is the... Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Let's see, how does this work? I think you could do it like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I'll see. Yeah. Quack, 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 quack. Anyways. Okay. Point has been communicated. Do you wear... Yeah. This is for the LGBT, tranny, girly boy, sissy, fruitcake, cross-dresser, you know, mama's boy, anybody that failed as a man in the real world. This lipstick is for you, and it's by Chanel. See? The CC for Coco Chanel. Anyways, it was a really late night of counseling, and so I woke up feeling really dark because, you know, the Buddhist will tell you that you cannot take on somebody else's karma. But I've spoken to very clairvoyant people, and oftentimes we do take on people's karma. Up here, we think that we need to deliver them. And the Bible says that you need to laugh with those that laugh and cry with those that cry. And sometimes when you're working with people, you know, this is very good tea. When you're working with people that are crying, it's easy to take that burden on. And so it's important to disconnect. But when you say disconnect from somebody that's hurting, when the person is in their process of grieving and hurting and they're suffering, and you explain that you need to disconnect, that's very rude. So I don't really like to necessarily teach disconnecting from people. I want to teach being honest about where you're coming from. Now I'm going to let this brew a little bit. But a lot of people... Beautiful china, I love it. It's from... Oh gosh. Sorry, it's from Holland. But, oh my goodness, water just fell all over the keyboard. Well, I wanted to... Oh gosh. It's a mess. Okay, so I have a myriad of different video portrayals and emotional dialogue that I'm going to be going through. And these are all... Oh my goodness. These are all my notes. And each of them could be in the work of Social Alchemy Project. I have some other ones here, too. So, I'm just trying to be really organized. And because last night was so dark, I've been doing a lot of reading for the client. And a lot of reading and a lot of writing to understand, you know, where somebody is going. So one of the losses in, well, I can just read this, but one of the losses is family. And there's a whole thing called social justice, family welfare uh, systematic approach, and taking a family that's broken and people that are suffering in the family and explaining to them that um, there are options for you in your grieving that are socially fair to do, just and legal. So for you, as a listener, I kind of wanted to tailor this toward you because I don't want to waste, your time. But you know, in this generation, Christians have failed, and they explain that they are in a crisis, and they have been ineffective for helping men that can't help themselves in the gay community. Not that the gay men in the community need help from Christians. Somehow the Christians think that the gays need help. But I don't know where they're coming from. It's a lot of superiority and self-righteousness and spiritually egotistical Christianity because Jesus saves those. Everybody is called, but not everybody is chosen according to the Bible. So a lot of people sit in the pews on Sunday morning with their bigotry, their judgmentalism against the world. They're even against the people that they associate and come close to, when they go do lunch after church. So, the whole world is lost. This is the whole Christian pull. When you feel defeated and you feel you have failed as a man and a girly boy, where do you go? You run to a real man, Jesus Christ, no doubt. But also you run to an organization that is established by man. So, September 25th, 2017, this is something that I had began to write. And I continue to, because people that I work with are in rather extreme torment. And they'd rather be on heroin. Let's just be frank about it. If they're not on crystal meth, they're smoking cigarettes or drinking or boogalooing for sex or vandalizing or lying to people and then stealing from them and betraying the friendship, what have you. A lot of this culture in America is based on putting on different faces in order to give people what they want to hear and what they want to see in order to keep them comfortable. But may the family, quote unquote, that maybe you were born into the world had a face, had a mask, and told the world this is who we are. But somehow the parents didn't love one another, and so the parents decided to pursue divorce in this family. And so the masks, somewhat of what I showed you just earlier, must be forced to be taken off. You're born into the world with eyes to see things through rose-colored glasses based on the lens and the filter that your family left you with and taught you. But when the family is betraying one another, such as the father's going out and boogalooing and having sex, and the wife is screaming and saying to her husband, stay at home because somebody from church is coming over that wants to have sex with me. A black man, go figure. And the husband of the wife that's crying because she wants him to stay at home and protect her, he just goes off and works and makes money. In the meanwhile, through the course of 15 years, he's also having adulterous affairs. So this affects the children under one roof. And the masks become fake and unreal in the church or in a perfect civil society. For the gay man, your family, let's say, certainly has betrayed you in the event that they have doubted your homosexuality and have told you time and again that you're lost and you'll be sent to hell and you need to be saved by Jesus once again. All right? Because of your gay feelings and the gay lifestyle, your family may not accept your real faith and who you are with your capital T, capital truth, that you are attracted to men. Now, what you do with being attracted to men is a completely another story. You have choices that you can make in dating or just rough playing and tossing people around and boogalooing and ramba and not have any loyalties. This is a problem if you come from a family that became disloyal and betrayed one another. So as a gay man, if you're going out and, choosing to create a subculture with other people that is not supporting you throughout every day, really, as a loyal friend would do, you're cheating yourself because you need your healing. May your family, let's say that you have, may they see this and that you hating your life and wanting to die because these masks don't belong to you and the world around you, next to even a broken family still trying to have control over you, treat you like shit, bastard child. You want to break through because these masks are derived from a superficial show and tell, a stand and flirt, a flaunt and flirt, or a stand and model type of man. Also, hating your life is going to derive from your loss of psychological masculinity due to dads, sperm donors, committing adultery with their wives and leaving their sons behind, or their sisters, your sister or whatever, but you being the son, and condemning the family that you never had, that you came from, because your family wasn't good enough, so your dad went off and screwed with other women, okay? Or physically abused your mother and never acknowledged this to give you the comforts that you desperately crave, next to them not accepting you for being gay with rights. These people in the world, not just, I need to get a Kleenex, one moment. I love these pants. I'm going to get rid of them. Aren't they cute? They're like white corduroy. You can see them. They're so gorgeous, so rich. But anyways, this is kind of like just a very casual day right now. So men hate their lives and they suffer, and they are taught that they can't be themselves and they can't be human. So they hate their lives and they haven't been able to manifest their reality. And they have been taught to become monsters in their anger and in their fear. Okay. Family teaches people to be selfless through intimidating you and being afraid of you and using violence. I've always wanted larger lips. It's really something I've always really desired. Okay. So anyway, since I'm speaking the truth, I figure I should have larger lips. Isn't that true? The selflessness that it makes you really humiliates you, and it's kind of like humiliation versus humility as a Christian. So the Christian background and the all-American family collapsing and putting you on drugs or in prostitution is all because the selflessness was not true selflessness. You are oppressed and you're victimized. And it's put you in a search to live, but yet not necessarily enjoy your life because you're always saying, I don't have, and you're in the lag. And it's hard to be happy at Disneyland. Let's just face it, because you're not used to being yourself and taking vacations, but you're consumed in guilt and in doing good to others to get their love because you never had the love. And you lower yourself and you think it's self-respect because you're letting people get their way with you and you let them walk all over you. But you've been abandoned by your family and your church. And they do this with money hard-ons. You know, a woman meets your dad and tells him all the right things and gives him a money hard on. And in the meanwhile, you and your family wasn't good enough, so he's busy connecting with her. So what you do is you learn that through your money and being oblivious about it, you can just go ahead and maneuver your way through crowds and manipulate who you want, you know, because of money. But it shouldn't work that way. Um, you know, when you were born, it wasn't about you. It was probably about parents that were trying to have a distraction from their unhappiness in their marriage. Is probably because they wanted to have a child that they can control. They could have a child that they could do the best for, but yet betray. And in doing the best, it could tell the world that they are the best, which is completely deceit, because in the meanwhile, you're getting betrayed. And your parents are going off and having adulterous affairs. You know, let's say you need hope, all right, because you hate your life and all the masks that you've been forced to wear. You wake up every morning through your entire life with love and confidence that you will never be homeless. This is what you need to remember, and maybe even write it down on a mantra on your bed or um, in your bathroom. Everybody loves you, and you have a good heart and never afraid of being rejected or thrown to the streets, because you will not be thrown to the streets. And you, in your mind, will not piss your life away when you're alone either. You know, ethics are all about doing the ethical and right thing when nobody is looking. So this is going to prevent you from thinking that you deserve the streets, because you'll start attracting a higher spiritual people for friendship, Lord willing. There's a lot of crap out there. So be careful. You are respected as a gay man, and go out of your way. Now, there's my Kleenex. You go out of your way to help people, and you're accepted by the world, and you are famous, and you are loved. Okay, this is what's changed my life. It's gotten me my recovery from out of my mental illness enough in order to not commit suicide. Let's just be really honest about that. You are okay. There is not any hate in you or others. You care for your many fans that take care of you. Life in each day is perfect and wonderful. You have reason to live, dream, and live more. You have purpose. All people cherish and love you. You will never be homeless. Even though, let's say you are homeless. That's kind of the problem, right? You feel homelessness. Even though you're not homeless per se, like on the street, you don't have your family. Oh, this is from Brazil, by the way. It's very expensive. It was a gift from me. All right, so the whole thing about your suffering is that you are feeling defeated. You believe you're not capable. You feel you're not approved or accepted. You are a loser. You are disturbed. You are alone. You are scared. You are betrayed. You are overwhelmed. You are confused. You are hated by family for being gay. You are not invited to family functions because you are gay. And so you feel defeated. And it's sad. It's sad. But you know, like they say, karma is a bitch. It knows everybody's address. So people that have really hurt you in the timeline of your life and have prevented you from pursuing certain goals, you know, don't wither yourself away up here. Because I've said this in one of my lectures before. A professor told me that the mind generally wants to make sense out of itself. So that might help you in certain ways to set up a new contract with yourself and regard this contract with certain definitive words that are for holding you up and making you the best person that you can be in your career, in your family that you're trying to hold together. November 17th, 2017, this is something I wrote. And I'm going to put it in your words, as you doing first person, if you don't mind, because I really want you to see yourself in this video that I'm giving you. You are a piece of shit loser because you could not get over your parents' divorce. Let's say that's the cause of your suffering. For some people it is. These are what you feel, okay? I'm not saying you are, but this is what you feel, so I'm going to relate it and mirror it back to your consciousness, if you don't mind, for your own self-actualization, realization, contemplation, review, life review, that kind of thing, deliberation. You are a sketchy fellow, since you look for lasting love by always being attracted to the hopes and dreams in the streets that a man will pick you up to adopt you and love on you and give you the attention you want, and you'll be on easy street. Okay, that's kind of like the hope in Hollywood, isn't it? Really is. Your heart is aching for a world of no unloyalties, no people that are going to be unloyal to you. Okay, you want people with loyalties, not miseries that keep you up at night wishing for safety and luxury to comfort you, right? The pain is lasting for you and will not allow your mind to move you forward with your heart, okay? I am just reflecting the bag of tricks inside of you that keep messing with your head, you know, so that you know that I'm with you and I understand. When will you die? A question that you ask. And will you feel pain at that moment of dying? Is dying going to relieve you of this part of me, disgusting sorrow? Well, at least you know what kind of person you are, right? You feel lost, however, and need a man to thoroughly love you and really protect you ASAP from the streets, because you go to the streets, you go to drugs, you go to everything, porn, everything. Lying even, maybe. Stealing, thievery. You can't take this pain anymore and handle life alone. You're utterly lonely. Now that is the truth. That's basically what our men are going through. And I think it's important to be honest about this. You are gay, and you need to be proud of it. In the heavens, to the powers that be. Oh my goodness. Can't find my Kleenex. And I'm trying to sneeze. Oh. Pardon me. It's just so hard keeping things together because I'm not showered and freshened up like I want to be. To the powers that be in heaven, may God bring you money so you don't have to resort to prostitution and hustling and being desperate, looking for love. May your needs be met somehow through a government organization, through a friend letting you spend the night once a week, showering you if you're homeless, you know, whatever, you know, your cross is that you're bearing. But may you have the funding so you will not need to be alone and afraid or feel pressured to reach for Satan's help. Okay, that's all relative. Okay, it's for you to decide what the definition of Satan is, or sin. Sin is basically missing the mark. Satan is basically the absence of no love and no hope. You want some type of higher power, I hope, to help you not be a loser, to manage to give you security and rest and peace, to help you because you are pathetic. And you want to be put in the hands of a wealthy man that will love and provide for you even. Or maybe you need to become famous and rich. You need to do it because you're tired of begging. Now the church and their racist God makes this difficult for you because you were raised believing that your God is going to send you to hell because you got an erection for a man and it was beyond your control. You know, your physiology, your body chemistry is highly impacted by this orientation persuasion of attraction to another same gender or same sex. And so you've been taught that God is racist against that. And the church has also taught you, maybe, or your family, because you're the victim, so you have to clean the house to keep your family together. So you clean and you cook, and you're basically anorexic, maybe. You can't control your family, you can't control what's happening under the house, but you can control your eating. So now you're anorexic. You know, whatever the trigger is because of your suffering and your pain because of your family, you need to know that you don't have to give out of what you don't have, and you don't need to give out of what you need. The church teaches you, may not, but very well has, or could, or would if you gave it a chance. The church teach you to hate yourself and to fear living with an independent spirit. It wants you dependent on the church, so you give them your money. You know, at the Beverly Hills Presbyterian Church, they have a big focus on giving. And the whole pressure they put on the congregation in Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive to give, has triggered somebody in that church to take $500 from out of their boss's cash register and give it to the church. So basically the church has stolen money. So I spoke to a reverend about this from a different faith. I'm not going to tell you the name of the church. And he says, well, you need to turn the other cheek. You know, turning the other cheek is when somebody does wrong to you. I'm talking about this person, this reverend, telling me to turn the other cheek because somebody did wrong to the church. I feel I have a moral and social and personal and public responsibility to call that person out and tell the minister, hey, the way you're pressuring your church to give to a racist God or what have you is causing people to steal money in order to tithe to you. Hence, the case in point, the woman taking $500 from her boss's cash register in Los Angeles. So, you know, you're not going to be able to accept yourself, and it's going to make you very desperate, let's say, if you are philandering this way. And the church will stifle your creativity and will steal your money, and it will brainwash you and shame you. Okay, now there are churches that maybe won't do this. Okay, so let's go back on my bias, or my opinion, or my biases, or my biased approach to this. So I just wanted to kind of go through those things, and I thank you very much. And in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and close with you know what.